cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. What's Gucci? Back with another Scap Attack reaction video. I see Scap recently put out a video that has to do with a topic that I have talked about quite a few times right here on this channel, is Michael Jordan's years with the Wizards and the real truth behind them. I have spoken ad nauseum about how people just act like Jordan was some bum or some scrub on the Wizards, and they tend to shy away from talking about it, and they want to try to act like it didn't exist. But for me, it's like, no, let's talk about it. Obviously, the Jordan that we really remember is Bulls Jordan, championship Jordan. But his Wizards years were impressive and better than what people give him credit for, especially given the context of what he was doing prior to his knee injury in his first year with the Wizards, and how at one point in the season, there were 3 players averaging 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game, and those 3 people were Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and Tracy McGrady. Yeah, Mike was on that list. And before he had the knee injury, he was lighting the league up. He was on a mean streak. The Wizards were playing well. They were in playoff contention. And it wasn't until the knee injury did the Wizards pretty much fall out of the standings. And Michael Jordan was getting his knee shot after every game, getting fluids drained out of his knee. And even with the knee, he was still giving people buckets at an advanced age, not quite in the best basketball shape. Came back with a bigger, bulkier body. And I think at least one of those seasons, he played 80, I think he played all 82 games, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I think. I know what I saw, and I remember those 2 years with the Wizards pretty damn clearly. So Michael Jordan, despite what people say, wasn't some kind of scrub. He was cooking. And if it wasn't for them damn knees, he would have kept cooking. I promise you that. Anyway, I could go on. I have a lot more to say about that, actually. I have a lot more. I could get into it. But I'm going to let Scap Attack talk about it, because that's why we're here today. Great content creator. If you haven't seen him, you're about to see him now, and I've reacted to more videos about or from Scap, but he touches on a wide variety of topics, especially putting bronzesexuals and over obnoxious LeBron James fans in their place. All right, let's get into it.
The GOAT, Michael Jordan. By literally any metric used to evaluate basketball, Jordan clears any other player in NBA history. But as we move further and further away from his actual playing days, fewer and fewer people seem to truly remember his career, while virtually any perceived flaw in his resume is substantially illuminated in a desperate and pathetic attempt to try to nullify his massive advantage against other players. Other players who have played significantly longer in more watered-down eras to stack hollow statistics. And one of the biggest alleged weak points, if you want to categorize it as such, of Jordan's career was how he played at nearly the age of 40.
I'm a man! I'm 40!
As if that is an overwhelming or significant aspect used to evaluate a player's legacy. And with the various memes and GIFs and garbage hot takes,
It's garbage!
percolating around various social media platforms from various Gen Z know-nothings.
Nerds! Nerds! Nerds!
Comparing Jordan at the age of 38 to other players, it is time to dig into the context of just what Michael Jordan's first season with the Washington Wizards, his aged 38 season, actually looked like. The year was 2001-2002. The LA Lakers were dominating the league as they would go on ultimately to win their third consecutive championship that summer behind Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, who were both All-NBA first-team selections that season. Along with Bryant, various other elite perimeter players were ascending at that time, with Tracy McGrady joining Bryant on the first team that year, while Allen Iverson, who led the league in scoring that season, headlined the All-NBA's second team. But in the middle of it all, Michael Jordan decided to come out of retirement for a third time after a full 3-season hiatus from the NBA. But he didn't go join his boy Phil Jackson to build a super team in LA and gravy train a 7th title. In fact, he didn't go build a super team anywhere. Jordan came out of retirement to join the Washington Wizards.
What?
You know, the Wizards, who had the third worst record in the entire NBA the year before in the 2000-2001 season, behind minority owner and president of basketball operations, Michael Jordan, winning just 19 games that year, with Richard Hamilton and Juwan Howard leading the team in scoring that season en route to a putrid 19-63 record. But the heinous season did lead to the Wizards landing the top pick in the NBA draft that summer, using it to select
the Washington Wizards select Kwame Brown.
What?
I mean, no one is saying Jordan is the GOAT of front office moves here. You see, Jordan wasn't trying to steal any cheap championships like what became the trendy thing to do in the 2010s. He was just, quite frankly, disgusted with the team he was now an owner of being a bunch of losers. So when he decided to come out of retirement, not only did Jordan not crawl on his hands and knees to another superstar's team, he also didn't grovel and beg for another superstar to come join him on the Wizards. Washington would make no other significant upgrades that offseason except adding the 38-year-old GOAT out of the owner's box after a 3-year layoff. Oh, and also they traded away their leading scorer from the year before, Juwan Howard. Jordan would sign a $1 million contract and donate the entirety of it to 9/11 relief efforts. See, it wasn't about stacking any more championships, accumulating any hollow stats, and it wasn't about the money. It was about competition and teaching his assortment of young loser players how to compete and win. And when evaluating the Wizards' 37-45 year-end record that season, it looks like a pretty unspectacular season. And when viewing Jordan's stat line that year of 23 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, well, that also doesn't look remarkable through the lens of the inflated scoring and stat stacking that happens in today's offensively incentivized era. But take a closer look. Jordan, unsurprisingly at his age, experienced significant issues with his knee throughout the season and ended up playing only 60 of a possible 82 games that year. But in the 60 games he played, the Wizards were 30-30. So a team that was only 19-63 the year before, that traded away their leading scorer, played .500 basketball for the 3 quarters of the year that Jordan actually played. Jordan, meanwhile, at the age of 38, led the Wizards in scoring, assists, and steals, while he was 3rd in rebounding on the team that season. And taking a closer look at the 22.9 points per game, yeah, that was actually good for 9th best in the entire NBA that season. An NBA where league-wide scoring per game that year was just 95.5 points per game. For context, the average scoring this season in the 2022-2023 season was 114.7, nearly 20 points per game more. And the ass Wizards team that year averaged only 92.8 points per game, meaning Jordan accounted for nearly 25% of the Wizards' scoring. For context, that is roughly the same amount of total point percentage scored that Jason Tatum and Steph Curry accounted for this year. While averaging 30 and 29 points per game, the duo was named to first and second team All-NBA. And while Jordan physically would regress even more the following season, he still became the oldest player in NBA history to average 20 points per game for an entire season. And he did it while playing in all 82 games. Yes, in his aged 39 season, where he turned 40 halfway through the year, Michael Jordan managed to log all 82 games for the 9th time in his career. And in 2 other seasons, he played in 80 and 81 games. Also in this season, where he turned 40 in February, while playing 82 games on one leg, he averaged 37 minutes per game. Load management be damned. And Jordan would add 6 rebounds and 5 assists per game to go along with his 20 point per game average in an NBA that had nightly averages of just 95.1 points per game. While calling Jordan's Wizards tenure an overwhelming success story, or claiming it added to his legacy as the easy, slam dunk GOAT, would maybe be a tad bit hyperbolic. But what Jordan achieved on the court during those 2 years is far from the punchline that many teenagers and liars in the mass media today portray it as. And it certainly doesn't invalidate Jordan's stranglehold on the mantle of GOAT, nor does it make other players' fabricated cases for that title any stronger.
Scab, thank you for that. That was so wonderfully done, so eloquently said. And he brings up a good point. The fact that this guy was doing what he was doing at his age, hobbled on one knee, playing all 82 games, playing lengthy minutes, wasn't about the money, wasn't about statistics. It was about the love of the game and wanting to contribute to the game, wanting to compete, a true competitor in an era NBA that was much more defensive, slower, mucked up, physical. These guys now have all the advantages, all the enhancements, all the rest, all the youth, and they still can't get out there and play a whole season, put on their work boots and go to damn work. And they'll sit here and throw a hissy fit for trying to play. I don't want to hear it, man. I don't. This man Mike has played as many games as he possibly could for his entire career. Never cheated the damn game. Never cheated people out of their hard-earned money. Ticket buyers, fans. He felt it was his responsibility to go out there and play. It was never an issue because he loved the game. It was never about anything other than trying to be the best version of himself and trying to win a championship and compete. I'm glad Scap brought that up because I don't think I've brought that up enough in my videos that I've put out about Michael Jordan's Wizards years. I've usually just focused on, what he did and applying the injury context and the era context. And another point he brought up that I really never brought up. I mean, yeah, every time LeBron James loses, doesn't get it done, he doesn't have enough help. He doesn't have, even though he doesn't have enough sitting there with 2 All-Stars. Still doesn't have enough help. 3 All-Stars, including him. Not enough help. That I don't remember hearing that about Michael Jordan when he was literally running around with Tyronn Lue and Rip Hamilton. Rip's a good player, but come on. Kwame Brown. I think Jahadi White might have even been on that team. Don't quote me on that. But it was not a good team. think he might have had Stackhouse for 1 year. I'm not sure. Maybe both. But either way, I ain't seen nobody running around saying he needs more help. They wasn't saying that for Michael Jordan. And they ain't saying it now. Man, get out of my face. Scap, I appreciate you. Y'all go check out Scap's channel. Show the man some love. Out here putting out that A1 content all day, day, baby. Alright? That's all I gotta say about it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, check out my Michael Jordan playlist. And I catch you on the next one. We out, baby.